Hello everyone, I'm Raven from Raven Comics, and today we'll see the complete story of Darkseid fighting against the Greek gods. Just like in several previous videos, this time we'll also cover the full story. We begin with Hercules. A while back, he descended to this plane and decided to live a normal life, far from the gods. This decision proved difficult, given his brothers and other gods constantly pursuing him. Despite that, he tried to stay hidden. One night, he was in the forest doing his work as a lumberjack. Someone approached from behind and complimented the son of Zeus on his fine work. That someone turned out to be Grail, the daughter of Darkseid. Hercules told her he simply wanted to stay hidden. He'd had enough of his siblings' madness. Apparently, Grail knew exactly who he was, and it seemed trouble was brewing. "Time to play," she said. Calling him the son of Zeus certainly fit, but how should he address his opponent? Grail introduced herself as the daughter of Darkseid. Hercules asked what this was all about. Despite her father being incredibly powerful, they were strangers. Grail told him he was the son of an old god, while she was the daughter of a new god, and she needed his vital force for something new. Tonight, Hercules would die, and Darkseid would gain the energy of this old god. Grail struck first, lunging at him and slashing his chest with her scythe. Before she could continue, Hercules stopped her, grabbed her arm, and hurled her against a tree. It seemed his opponent was powerful after all, as he hadn't felt pain like this in ages. Grail admitted she expected no less from him. After all, her scythe was forged by Hercules' uncle. Hercules corrected her. Hephaestus had forged that scythe. Grail attacked again, but Hercules managed to fend her off. One thing was clear to him. If he was to defend who and what he was, he would do so without the shackles of his human disguise. This time, he would become Hercules the Unbound. As he began transforming, Grail used the moment to grab a tree and launch another attack. Hercules stopped the tree, splitting it in half, then grabbed one half to counterattack. For Hercules, this felt like nothing more than a primitive game that reminded him of the old days. Grail attacked again. This was merely a distraction. She reiterated that he belonged to the old gods, while she served the new. Grail unleashed her Omega Beam vision, striking him in the back. Hercules was defeated, but the worst was yet to come. Grail carried a mother box, which he placed on his chest to drain his godly energy. The time of the old gods was over. The new gods would rule this world. She opened a portal and left. On the ground lay Hercules, barely able to move. His energy was depleted, and his body resembled that of an old man. Unable to go on, he died right there. 11 days later, we find Diana, Wonder Woman, delivering the final blow to Giganta. Diana was victorious, but it wasn't over. They'd fought many times, and Diana had learned to catch her opponent before she could fall and cause damage to the city or harm civilians. Steve Trevor told Diana to let the authorities handle the situation now. For Diana, fighting her opponent had been fun, but Steve reminded her they had to leave before the press arrived. Suddenly, a stranger approached them. Steve tried to send him away, but the man insisted he had something important to tell Diana. His name was Blake Hopper, and he was a probate lawyer. He informed Diana that Mr. Paul Jackson had died 11 days ago. Diana had never heard that name before, but perhaps his real name would surprise her. Hercules was dead, and she was the heir to his entire fortune. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Grail returned to her father, presenting him with the mother box. Darkseid could feel his power growing each time he absorbed the energy of a god. Grail admitted it wasn't enough. They had been stealing the power of gods and hoped Hercules would make a difference. Darkseid urged his daughter to be patient, knowing this would take time. Zeus had many children on Earth, and they would target them next. Soon, Darkseid would be fully restored, needing only to eliminate them quickly. Back with Diana and Steve Trevor at Argus, the doctor showed them Hercules' body. Steve asked if Diana knew him. She admitted she only knew his reputation. Diana inquired about the cause of death. The doctor revealed traces of radiation emitted by Darkseid in Hercules' body, meaning someone from Apocalypse had attacked him. Steve wondered if there was any connection between the Greek gods and Apocalypse. Diana concluded Grail was behind this. Darkseid had incarnated as a baby, and only those from Apocalypse were on this planet. Diana had seen him in the catacombs when the Dark Batman appeared. The Doctor revealed that Hercules wasn't the first victim. Many others had been killed by the same apocalyptic energy. Nicholson burst into the room, reporting an attack in Paris by someone emitting apocalyptic energy. It seemed Hercules wouldn't be Grail's last victim. Diana and Steve, along with Argus soldiers, rushed to Paris's catacombs, where they encountered an attack by Apocalypse forces. Diana admitted it was difficult to fight in such a confined space, but gave it her all. Though the battle ended in victory, there was no sign of Grail or Darkseid. They deduced that these new gods were behind the deaths of the Greek gods. Their only lead now was the lawyer, who had Hercules' will. Perhaps something among his possessions could shed light on this mystery. After all, he made Diana his heir for a reason. Diana left with the lawyer Hopper. As they traveled, they reached Hercules' home. Hopper noticed Diana seemed sad and asked what was on her mind. Diana just asked him to call her by her name. While in this place, Diana realizes that Hercules was not just a legend. He was also her brother. She hadn't mentioned it because she had heard troubling stories about him. Depending on who you ask, he could be a hero or a maniac. Either way, they both had the same father. Some of her siblings had unique powers, and many were immortal. Zeus might be a great god, but he was a terrible father. That's what Diana thinks, and she doubts it will ever be proven otherwise. Her sadness over having a bad father is evident. Now, it's time to hand over part of the inheritance, which is a letter. The letter reads as follows. Hercules had always watched his sister with great pride. Many times, he wanted to let them know of his existence, but they must admit that their past is older than their recent times. His present actions consumed him with shame. Hercules wasn't always kind or good, and he's sorry for all his mistakes. He truly wants nothing from his past. The legend of Hercules no longer exists. So, he hid like a coward, and he is not proud of it. But things are not how they should be. Well, what's the point of this inheritance? Diana receives all of this because she is the only one worthy of all his material possessions. Though material things matter little, there is a great secret he has kept for a long time. He recently met Jason, an immortal like Hercules. Jason is Wonder Woman's twin brother, so he's also Hercules' brother. Diana can't believe it. Grail's mother had already told her, but she thought she was lying. It's true that Diana tried to search for him, but then forgot about him. The reading of the letter continues. One of Hercules' old tasks was to kill the Nemean lion. Diana needs to look at it. Here are some map coordinates. They never met, but they are siblings, and he loved her. Diana must move forward and find her twin brother. The map coordinates lead them to the coast of Haya. Once they arrive at the coast, they begin their search for her brother Jason. While investigating, a woman tells them that he went to work as a fisherman with his crew. They're most likely returning later. Hopper tells Diana that it seems they will have to wait. Diana tells him she's not someone who likes to wait, so she will fly off in search of her brother. Diana begins her search. After some time, she finds a boat in the middle of the sea. Wonder Woman can sense it. The person before her is Jason. She doesn't want to scare him, but she must tell him that his sister is here. Jason can feel it too, and he knows she found him. On the other hand, we switch to him. What we are about to see happens just before his confrontation with Hercules. This here is his father, the mighty Darkseid, bearer of the anti-life equation. The great darkness resides within him. His plans are vast and glorious in their simplicity and complexity. There's much to do, but there's a major issue. Currently, Darkseid is 6 years old and aging as fast as possible. Grail is the one taking care of this. What she must do is feed her father with Zeus energy by draining it from the children of the old gods. It doesn't matter whether Zeus bastards want it or not. She will steal their energy. Perseus was a powerful warrior. In ancient times, he rode his winged Pegasus and fought the Kraken. Like all immortals, he grew bored of his existence and spent time doing nothing on Earth. Perseus didn't manage to do the same thing he did with the Kraken. His sword was gone, and now his life was too. For Grail, this was fun. Darkseid tells her it's not about enjoying it. It's about him regaining his age and power. Grail is just a conduit, and she mustn't forget that. Grail tells him she liked him better when he was a baby. Her words weren't kind, but they were less harsh. Darkseid tells her he'll let that slide for now, but next time, he might not. Grail asks what will happen with the horse. Pegasus isn't a creation of Zeus, but it must have the energy of the gods. Darkseid tells her it would be foolish to chase the horse through the skies. Then, he asks for the mother box. It's time to feed right now. Darkseid takes the mother box and absorbs the energy that was just stolen from Perseus. Now, how does he look? How old does he appear? Grail says that he certainly has aged, but only a few years more. He still hasn't aged enough. Darkseid tells her she lacks patience. At least that's something she shares with her mother. Grail only hopes that he sees the best of her mother in her. They must leave now. There's still much to be done. It's true that Perseus was a legend of ancient Greece, but he turned out to be a weak god for Grail. She's ready to face a greater threat. Her new opponent might just be the greatest Greek god on Earth. It's time to fight Hercules. Okay, let's travel further into the past, precisely 3 months ago. At first, Grail was afraid of what she was doing. A while ago, Batman stole her father, and many things had to happen for her to recover him. This story takes place 3 months after the Dark Knights arrived. After Grail got her father back, she had to find a new place to live, a place where they wouldn't be found. After reaching these mountains, she had to kill all the inhabitants so no one would talk about them. What happened a while ago is still hard to overcome. Her father, the all-powerful Darkseid, died and then returned to life as a crying newborn. This happened after his fight with the Justice League. Now Darkseid is a baby, and Grail feels more like a mother than a daughter. But the question here is, how can you create a god? How can you teach him? How can you ensure he grows into the shy and sanctified greatness he once had? What if his upbringing makes him inferior in some way? Darkseid communicates with his daughter through his mind to tell her that he's hungry. After all, his blood runs through his veins just like his thoughts. Darkseid continues telling her that he's hungry. Grail asks what he wants. What does he need her to get him? He is a child, but it's likely he needs things beyond the ordinary. Darkseid tells her he is hungry. He is her new god, and what he needs is to feed off the old gods. Grail understands. So, it's time to start the hunt. It was then that she felt it. A threat. It was lurking at the outskirts of the house. The hunt had already begun. Grail only wanted to protect her father. All of this made sense after everything her father and she had done to this world. What could they expect? The targets were in sight. Special X-Force was already on the way. Argus orders were clear. They had to take them out right now. Grail was impressed they had found them so quickly. Not that she was scared. After all, they could kill everyone here. Grail had learned this group belonged to the Argus organization. This was a new elite group called the Atomic Knights. The word elite was far too grand for them. The right word was overrated. None of them were a match for Darkseid's daughter. Anyone who stood in her way was taken down with ease. She had already taken care of the planes. Now only the men on the ground remained, who were mercilessly massacred. Inside the house, one of the soldiers had found Darkseid. The soldier was about to shoot him. From afar, Grail looked worried about what was going to happen. In the end, Darkseid used his rays to incinerate half the soldier's body. They could not stay in this place any longer. Despite still being a baby who couldn't speak, Darkseid planted a seed in his daughter's mind with 2 simple phrases. Harvest the life force of an old god, energy with which Darkseid could regenerate. Grail thought the Greek pantheon had already left Earth. The reality was the opposite. Many of Zeus' offspring still inhabited this planet in a very sad way. Each of them carried a bit of their father's power. This was Reginald Lake, the only member of the British Parliament who was immortal. Well, that was until Grail made that a thing of the past. And so she slowly began eliminating the many gods still on Earth. Callisto, a bear about to be skinned, Epiphus from the Egyptian world, and others fell before her. That happened some time ago, and now Darkseid is a 12-year-old child. The hunt has taken them to the Haya coast. In the distance, a young man with the strength of Zeus can be seen. Grail wants to go after him, but Darkseid stops her. That boy is special, and he's Wonder Woman's brother. They don't need to kill him. In fact, Darkseid has special plans for him. But before anything, they will put him to the test in battle. Though Grail won't be the one to face him. Darkseid has some opponents in mind for Jason, and this brilliant young man will meet them sooner than he'd like. We begin on the island of Themyscira. What we'll see happen many years ago. Philippus is carrying a newborn in her arms. What they are doing is not allowed, but they must hide it from the gods. However, this is very difficult since the gods have their eyes everywhere. A little distance from the island, Philippus mentions that they have to wait. Suddenly, a portal opens, and someone says they won't have to wait any longer. This figure is a mythological being named Glaucus, who will take the child away. Queen Hippolyta demands that the baby never learns of his origins. Glaucus says he can't promise that. In due time, the boy will learn the truth. Glaucus then asks if the child has a name. Philippus tells him that the boy's name is Jason. Returning to the present, let's recall that at the end of the previous chapter, Wonder Woman found her brother, and now they are face to face. After an embrace, Jason tells her he's been waiting for this day. Every time he saw her on the news, he was amazed by his sister's incredible feats. Diana asks why he never contacted her. Jason explains that he couldn't. A long time ago, he swore an oath to the man who raised him as a child. Therefore, he couldn't seek her out. To have a more private conversation, Jason suggests they move elsewhere. This island was a fortress for the Knights Templar hundreds of years ago. When it was inhabited, they built a chapel for Greek Orthodox monks. After a war with Turkey, the place was left in ruins. Diana tells him she's a bit confused. It's true he took an oath, but she is his sister, and he could have sought her out. Jason explains that his mentor told him everything. He knows their mother is Hippolyta and their father is Zeus. That's the problem. Hera, Zeus's wife, is very vengeful, and this could have put them in danger. Meanwhile, at Argus, a doctor tells Steve Trevor that he has been examining the metals Giganna stole before Wonder Woman defeated her. The core of one of these metals comes from Apocalypse. Back on the island, Jason asks why their mother abandoned them. He understands that Hera could have harmed them, but Hippolyta never visited or checked if he was alright. Diana says she doesn't have the answers. Jason asks how she found him. Diana explains that Hercules was murdered. Grail, Darkseid's daughter, has been killing all of Zeus's children on Earth. Jason asks if she knows how to find their father. Diana says it's known he is alive and that she can feel his manipulations. To Jason, it doesn't seem like their father will help them in this situation. Diana knows that's true, but now they have each other. It's getting late, and the sun is starting to set, so it's time to leave. Diana tells Jason she will contact Steve Trevor to find out if he has discovered anything. Jason then says the time has come. Diana doesn't understand what he means. Jason tells her this conversation was just a ruse. To him, she is nothing more than a stranger, and he has been fine without her all this time. It's true they share the same blood, but there's someone else he feels a much stronger connection with. Someone Diana doesn't like any more than he does. Suddenly, a portal opens, and Grail appears to strike Wonder Woman. Things have just gotten more complicated. Diana admits she had hoped that when she fought Grail, it would be alongside her brother. Instead, she will have to fight against Jason. Diana tells him it doesn't have to be this way. She doesn't know why he's doing this, but he has to stop. Jason says the reason is simple. He hates her, and just thinking about her existence puts him in a bad mood. Diana grabs him and throws him away, telling him that if he won't help her, he needs to stay out of her way. Now that Jason is gone, Wonder Woman faces Grail. Grail asks if she's angry. Could it be that her brother broke her heart? Either way, Diana says she'll be the one doing the breaking. Grail has been killing Zeus's children for some time, but that ends now. Diana grabs Grail and slams her hard against the ground. Suddenly, Jason returns, and Diana is shocked by what she sees. This is Jason, using the power of the oceans. If Diana wanted to know what his powers were, now is the time to find out. Jason attacks her, and Diana is gravely injured. Grail tells her this is over, but Diana, lying on the ground, says this is just the beginning. Grail disagrees and prepares to deliver another strong blow. Jason thought this would be harder. Grail is also disappointed, calling Diana a pathetic Amazon. Grail stabs her scythe into Diana's shoulder, causing her to bleed. Diana asks Jason if he's going to let them kill his sister. He tells her they'll keep her alive for now, but when the time comes, he'll be the one to kill her. We flash back to learn more about Jason's story. As a child, Glaucus continued to care for him. Everything changed one night when Jason realized he had powers. With no other choice, his adoptive father told him the truth. He was the son of a god named Zeus, who fell in love with Queen Hippolyta. That relationship gave rise to Jason. But that's not all. He learned about his sister and the jealousy Zeus's wife felt. Jason's sister could hide among the girls of Themyscira, but Jason could not do the same. To solve this, Hippolyta contacted Glaucus to ask him to care for the boy. Glaucus eventually came to love him as if he were his own son. Over time, Jason began to develop his powers. He was strong and could fly. Glaucus noticed his great affinity for the element of air. By feeling the air, Jason could control waves and the sea's flow. Glaucus knew he could only teach him so much, and that Jason would eventually need a true expert. So, he decided to take him to Hercules, though he didn't tell Jason they were brothers. Jason's training began that very day. Although Hercules had good intentions, he wasn't someone who would stay by Jason's side for long. He would come and go, always returning to teach Jason something new. Eventually, Hercules revealed the real reason for his training. While Glaucus had asked for his help, it wasn't just as a favor. They shared the same father. They were brothers. One day, a war broke out in Athens. A minotaur was attacking the city when an unknown boy appeared and defeated it. Glaucus realized the boy was Jason. Although Jason wore a mask, his identity was now known, and it was only a matter of time before someone came looking for him. Glaucus decided to distance himself, but asked Jason to stay hidden. He promised to return when Jason was older, but this was a lie. As an adult, Jason saw Wonder Woman in action. This led him to question what he should do. Should he seek her out, going against his father's wishes? He knew of her existence, but didn't know if she knew about him. Jason felt conflicted and didn't know what to do. Returning to the present, Jason still can't overcome the fact that his sister lived her life while he remained hidden in Greece. All Diana can do is watch her brother betray her. At this moment, she feels both anger and sadness. She was so happy to meet her brother, but he turned out to be a coward. Jason, her twin, should be helping her. Instead, he has joined Grail, who has been killing their siblings. Though they never met before, he is turning his back on his own blood. Hercules was his mentor, his friend, his brother. Does that mean nothing to Jason? Grail gets angry at these words and delivers a heavy blow to Diana, then tells her to shut up. Before Grail can continue attacking, Jason asks her to stop. He didn't know anything about these deaths. Grail only told him she would drain his brother's energy and make him bleed to a certain extent. She never mentioned she would kill him. Grail simply says things didn't go as planned. Diana asks if her brother's death was an accident, trying to understand what Jason went through. It's true that Zeus was a terrible father, but Glaucus was a good one. Their mother never searched for him, but she was a good woman, full of compassion and love. That's why she sent him to Glaucus, so he could have a better life. She loved him and did what she thought was best for him. At this, Grail strikes Diana again, demanding her silence. Diana warns this will be the last blow she takes. Grail taunts her, asking if she really thinks she can break free. Diana responds that she can. All this time, she's been trying to reason with Jason. Now that she understands why they're working together, it goes beyond anything she can comprehend. Diana frees herself and kicks Jason, telling him it won't be pleasant to hurt him. Grail considers finishing her off again, confident they've done it before and can do it again. Diana retorts that it was because she was distracted then. Now, she's angry. Wonder Woman slams Grail into Jason. In retaliation, Grail hurls her scythe, but Diana dodges the attack with ease. It seemed Diana could handle the situation, but we'd forgotten about the character orchestrating this entire assault. Wonder Woman is struck from behind. Darkseid had already told them she couldn't die. He needs her alive. Diana looks at Darkseid in shock. Darkseid asks why the surprise, then inquires if she already knew he had been resurrected. Diana admits she did, but when she last saw him, he was merely a baby. She doubts becoming a younger man has softened him. Darkseid reminds her that the last time the entire Justice League defeated him. This time, she is alone. Darkseid notices her fear and remarks how she resembles his daughter. Diana prepares to fight, declaring that they resemble each other because they are Amazons, enemies of evil who will stand against him. Diana's efforts are futile against Darkseid. He asks her to understand reality. She's alone, and there's no way she can defeat him. While lying on the ground, Diana tells her brother that there's one thing their mother taught them. No matter what happens, they must always have hope. Darkseid attacks with his Omega beams, dismissing hope as mere fantasy. He is a truly formidable foe. Despite his youthful appearance, he possesses immense power. Diana tells him to kill her, stating she was born without fear and would rather die in battle than live in a world where Darkseid reigns. Darkseid reiterates that he needs her alive. Diana retorts she will never serve him. Darkseid clarifies that servitude is not what he seeks. What he needs is her life force. Darkseid begins draining her energy. At the same time, Jason recalls everything Diana told him when they first met and tries to make Darkseid stop. Grail intervenes, attempting to convince Jason to return to her side. She claims Diana doesn't love him, that it's all lies. Suddenly, a new character appears, declaring that enough is enough. Jason asks who this man is. Diana, in her weakened state, identifies him as her lawyer, Hopper. She then asks what he's doing here. Mr. Hopper wonders why they're so surprised. He enjoys involving himself in conflicts like these. Darkseid admits he's not surprised at all. All this time, Mr. Hopper was the one who orchestrated the plan to reunite the siblings. Now, seeing his son, he realizes Jason has been corrupted by darkness, but it's not too late to bring him back to the right path. As for Diana, they must release his daughter immediately, or they will face the wrath of Zeus. Wonder Woman, lying on the ground, is unable to move. She's utterly shocked to see her father. It's incredible to see Zeus, especially knowing he's never cared for his children. Now they know who his favorite is. Zeus, Diana's father, is here to face Darkseid. The old god declares he has always been her father and promises they'll talk later, once he's dealt with this primitive creature of nature. Darkseid acknowledges he may be a primitive creature, but Diana realizes what's happening. He has been killing her half-siblings, the other children of Zeus, and stealing the divine energy within them. Darkseid has transformed from a newborn into someone approximately 18 years old. Though younger and seemingly weaker, he is far more dangerous than anyone imagined. This marks the beginning of the battle between the old god and the new god. Jason asks Diana if that's truly their father. She confirms it and tries to stand to help him. Zeus stops her, saying she's too weak after Darkseid's attack. Besides, it's been too long since he's faced a worthy enemy. Now they'll see how strong Darkseid's blows truly are. The fight begins. Zeus throws the first punch, but misses. Darkseid takes advantage of this distraction and strikes him with his Omega beams in the back. Zeus quickly recovers, mocking Darkseid by saying he's faced satyrs with fiercer bites. He then delivers a powerful punch, unleashing a storm-like blow that sends Darkseid flying a great distance. From afar, Darkseid rises furious. He rushes back to the battlefield at incredible speed. He's fought planets and wiped out entire armies. If Zeus wants to emerge victorious, he'll need more than fists with mere lightning. Darkseid grabs Zeus and slams him forcefully into the ground. Diana has witnessed many battles, but none as fast as this one. The blows exchanged were incredible, and all the destruction was just beginning. Zeus caused a torrential rain as he was slammed into the ground. Meanwhile, Jason mentions that he is still very weak from using his wave attack during their previous fight. Diana tells him that it's actually a good thing. It means he's getting stronger. His age is also returning to normal, which indicates that Darkseid is weakening and will weaken faster if he helps their father. Wonder Woman has just regained her strength and is about to join the battle. But before she can, Grail stops her and demands she let them fight. Moreover, their issues aren't over yet. They both have much to resolve before the time comes. Diana asks what she means by the time. What are they all planning? Suddenly, Jason grabs Grail and slams her into the ground. This isn't what he wanted, and he needs her to stop before he finishes her off. Grail retaliates with her scythe, striking him, and tells him he might not have realized it yet, but she will never stop. Not until her father reclaims the throne of Apocalypse. The battle between Zeus and Darkseid continues. The old god can sense Darkseid is weakening and delivers a lightning blow to his face. Darkseid disagrees, launching another Omega Beam attack at him. Who's truly weakening now? Zeus is just an old god, only good for surrendering his energy. Diana moves quickly. Her father needs her, and she must help him. Jason urges her to leave. While it's true he's still weak, he can handle Grail. Diana tells him she chose to die rather than have everything handed to her. Darkseid, standing tall, remarks that the flow of battle is shifting. He can feel the burning fire. At the same time, he opens a boom tube. Zeus rises and accuses him of being a coward, attempting to escape with a boom tube. If that's what he wants, Zeus will follow him. However, it seems this was Darkseid's plan all along. Diana arrives and enters the boom tube. Behind her come Jason and Grail. Jason asks Grail where they are, or better yet, where they're heading. Grail enters the boom tube, and Jason grabs her, pulling them both through together. Afterward, the boom tube closes. Diana emerges on the other side of the portal, still in disbelief at what she sees. Not long ago, the gods had also gone through it, and it feels like they've been fighting here for hours. They're in the Philippines. The battle rages on, and the imagery shows Zeus still landing powerful blows. Locals are fleeing to avoid being caught in the chaos of this monumental fight. Darkseid now strikes Zeus, asking if he truly thought his entire plan was to regenerate by consuming his illegitimate children. That would have been too simple. While consuming the lifespans of Zeus's children may have given him his current age, they were never the true target. Not even Diana. Wonder Woman arrives to aid her father and strikes Darkseid. The new god confidently remarks that he knew he'd see her again. She's someone who cannot be stopped. His plan to change the battleground was meant for this. There are many civilians in the area, and Diana can't fight freely while protecting them. Darkseid destroys a building with his Omega beams, forcing Diana to rescue the civilians. All this time, he's been playing to her mindset and approach. Diana's primary mission isn't combat, it's protecting the innocent. Jason follows her to help, but he must focus on dealing with Grail. Jason screams in despair, realizing he won't reach his father. Diana must be the one to help him. In the end, this was a battle of gods, and Zeus's children couldn't do anything to aid him. It all depends on Zeus now. He grabs Darkseid, declaring it's enough. It's time to show the world that even gods can die. Darkseid grabs Zeus by the neck, repeating what he told his daughter when they faced each other. Killing Zeus's children gave him youth and power, but wasn't nearly enough. The children were only bait for a bigger prize. Zeus was the ultimate goal all along. Do they think Darkseid didn't plan this from the start? Every strike and moment was part of the plan, even showing himself as a seemingly weak being. Throughout their fight, he's been siphoning Zeus's energy, strength, and power. Zeus cries out as Diana watches helplessly from afar. Darkseid fully drains Zeus, transforming back into the Darkseid everyone knows, the god of Apocalypse. Zeus lies on the ground, completely weakened and nearing death. Diana charges at Darkseid, declaring that if her father is dead, she swears he will join him. Darkseid says Zeus is now where the other old gods dwell. As for Wonder Woman, she has never been able to defeat him. Diana retorts that this will be the first time. Darkseid doubts it. While he's been defeated in the past, she's never done so alone without her precious Justice League. Suddenly, Darkseid falls silent. The Justice League is here to face him. Though they arrive late, they might still stop him now. Diana is surprised to see her teammates behind her. Speak of the devil, and he appears. For Darkseid, Testing his newfound power against them would be a pleasure. But his ultimate goal is too grand to risk right now. It's time to retreat. He calls for Grail, and they leave together through a boom tube. Diana tries to pursue, but before she can, the portal closes. Diana understands why the Justice League came. They do good and protect people. But when she truly needed them, they weren't there. Diana has never felt such anger toward her team. Not until now. They arrived, and Darkseid escaped. Wonder Woman is certain she could have defeated Darkseid alone if given the chance. She could have saved her father. Diana goes to Zeus's body. Jason tells her Grail injured him, using the opportunity to escape. He deeply regrets everything, admitting he betrayed and judged her without knowing her. He's acted like a fool this whole time. Diana tells him that if he hadn't sided with Grail, none of this would have happened. Jason acknowledges his guilt and apologizes profusely, hoping to regain his sister's trust. Diana says that while his apologies are fine, they're not enough. Her father has just died, and she couldn't save him. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more content like this. I'm TJ Prime, and see you in the next video.